Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the very first time if you're brand new here. Thank you so much for joining me today for our pick a card reading that is a good old-fashioned delve into the Akashic Records, but more specifically, I set the intention to ask our spirit guides to help us retrieve information that will be most helpful to us right now on our path. So, of course, we know Akashic Records can deal with the past, the present, or the future, but no matter what part of the timeline this message and information comes from, it's something that's supposed to give you a little bit of a boost of advice or maybe a heads up about a blessing soon to come in your life or to help you deal with something that's going on right now. So without further ado, let us choose our pile leaders for picking our messages. So connecting to our spirit guides, please help us get the right cards for them to choose their messages for the Akashic Records reading today. Thank you. Okay, so this one says pile 1 to me, pile 2, and pile number 3. Let's unveil the cards together. So for pile 1, over here on the left, your leader today is 48. Weird is the new cool. Boldly express your uniqueness. Very cool card, very beautiful. Okay, for pile number 2 today here in the middle, your pile leader is, upside down, number 15, build in breaks, saunter slowly. And last but not least, for our wonderful pile number 3 over here on the right, your leader today is number 49, afterglow, land gracefully. So, quick reminder, pile 1, weird is the new cool. Pile 2, build and breaks. And pile 3 is afterglow. But of course, as I always say, you're welcome to pause right now if you need more time to decide. If you're not sure what method you'd like to use to choose your pile today, if you're new to pick a card readings, I would just like to guide us through a little mini meditative moment. So close your eyes, taking a deep cleansing breath. Imagine drawing light into your lungs. And then when you breathe it back out again, open your eyes. And where are your eyes drawn first? What feels right in your gut? That's what we call your intuition. And that is the pile I recommend you choose for your message today. But whatever your method, even just picking by what looks the coolest, as I always say, you can drop down to the description box below or the top pin comment beneath the video. Find the timestamp there for your pile. And I'll see you in our little chat about vital information your spirit guides want you to know from the Akashic Records today. Toodaloo. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about vital information from your Akashic Records. And of course, as you can recall, the pile leader you were drawn to was the very beautiful weird is the new cool, boldly express your uniqueness. So to begin the reading today, of course, we'll set your pile leader over to the left as usual. And then I want to begin with drawing tarot to understand more about the situation at hand that your spirit guides want to talk to you about regarding the Akashic Records that they're accessing. So let's draw those tarot cards now. Thank you, spirit guides of pile 1 collectively. Please give us around 5 cards explaining the story of what's going on. What do you want to talk to them about today with the Akashic Records? Okay, there we go. And number 5. Okay, pile 1. First, looking at your tarot cards, you received the 9 of Wheels, or Pentacles in most tarot decks as it would be referred to. Been hard at work on something, haven't you? Been very hard at work. And then we've got, okay, the Magician reversed. Maybe you have been having some issues, however, getting things to manifest. You've been putting in the work and you've been expecting a reward or some sort of fruit out of your labor, as I like to say. However, the Magician reverse tends to indicate that maybe there's been some issue either gathering the resources you need to get this goal or this dream finished or completed or attained, or it's like things just aren't aligning right in terms of trying to manifest it into being, okay? Next up, we have the Ace of Cups. That can mean either a new emotion, a new direction with our heart, or a new relationship. Sometimes it means that too. We'll talk about that more after we have all the cards. We have the Queen of Swords reversed. Okay. I think part of what your spirit guides want to give you from the Akashic Records is some information to help you bypass this obstacle that we talked about with manifesting. Okay. And then last but not least, yes, okay, we have the Nine of Swords reversed as the outcome. And what that means, pile one, is they want to give you this information so that it relieves some sort of anxiety or stress that you've had. That's what the Nine of Swords reversed means. It means overcoming a mental prison, a mental anguish of some sort. Like I said, anxiety is the word I tend to use with the Nine of Swords as a common keyword. Very interesting, yes. So, I mean, pretty straightforward, pile one. I don't have to reiterate too much. Like I said, there's something that you have recently been trying to manifest. The Nine of Pentacles, as the inciting incident card I like to call the very first one, tends to tell me as the tarot reader that you have been very hard at work on something, like I said before. I don't know if it's something to do with a job or it's something to do with, I think there might be some sort of relationship involved because you did get the Ace of Cups, which could mean maybe a new relationship. So it could be something you're trying to manifest with, you know, say a new friend, or something you're trying to manifest with a new romantic relationship, or something to do with maybe even like a familial relationship. That means like, you know, a family member, right? Either way, though, you're having some issues getting this to go the way you need to. And I think the reason why with the Magician reversed, usually that tends to say, I'm having issues gathering the resources I need, because the Magician is someone who holds a lot of different objects in his hands. He's got a cup, he's got a wand, he's got a sword, and he's got a pentacle, okay? All the different suits of tarot. Like, he's like, I'm ready to muster this thing, I really need to get going. However, reversed, it means, I don't have everything I need. Maybe it's that you're searching for the answer to find what you need. Maybe you don't even know what you need in order to bypass this particular issue, but that's what your spirit guides want to help you with today with the Akashic Records, okay? And like I said, it's something that will help you gain some insight. It's something that will, because with the Queen of Swords reversed here, that tends to tell me that you're currently in a position of not knowing how to go forward. It's because the Queen of Swords, she is kind of the internal mastery of air. She's someone who is very logical, very calculating, and I would say in this situation, a positive way. Sometimes we use calculating as a negative connotation, but positive in this particular situation, I'm feeling intuitively right, pile one. And she's someone who is like, she knows exactly like how to mentally understand everything around her. But reversed, it's like, we're not so sure about how we want to move the chess pieces across the board. And then yes, Nine of Swords reversed is, we're going to relieve that anxiety. We're going to help you out with this particular thing. Okay, we're going to help you gain that information you need in order to move forward with this new relationship or this new feeling regarding the goal that you've been trying to work very, very hard on. Okay. And, you know, it's interesting, too, because you were drawn to the Weird is the New Cool as your pile leader. The red and blue card, very beautiful, like I said in the intro, pile one. And it says, boldly express your uniqueness. So I think there's even some aspect of this, too, where it's like there's some part of you that you want to uniquely stand out in this goal. Or it's like your spirit guides are saying part of your journey with this particular goal is to express a uniqueness. And I think, you know, especially this being like an Akashic Records reading, pile one, I get kind of like life lesson vibes off of this. Like, I don't know if maybe in the past you've had a lot of issues with feeling like you wanted to be like authentic. Maybe you were like afraid to be authentic in front of other people just because, you know, sometimes it is easier to blend in, right, pile one. But at the same time, you're not here to blend in on Earth. You're not here to, you know, stick in the background. You're here to shine and let out your unique vibrancy of your particular soul, your spirit, right, pile one. So there's some element of that too here where there's kind of a life lesson involved. So I want to know more about what the particular issue is with the manifestation part. Let me grab my tarot deck again here. We of course will have our oracle cards as well to explain more about the advice okay, from the Akashic Records. But I want more context as the tarot reader. So, spirit guides collectively for pile 1, can you kind of describe what's the blockage to the manifestation of this goal? What's going on? Why? Maybe 2 or 3 cards. Thank you. Okay, for sure, this one. The Fool. Okay, the Fool is starting a new journey. I wonder if it's kind of scary. I wonder if it's almost kind of a blockage in that you are afraid of something so new compared to what you're used to. But the Fool can also mean something about risks, because it's like you see him walking here and he's reaching for that light up here, but he's not noticing he's just about to dance off the cliff or leap off the cliff. And so maybe you're afraid of risks too. Or there was a risk that you didn't see. You were reaching for the sun and then boop, there was something, some sort of obstacle you didn't expect. Okay. And then the second card we have is the Knight of Cups reversed. All right. We have another Cups popping up. Something about lack of taking action with our feelings, our emotions. Can also represent somebody that's maybe a little bit unable to take action based on their feelings, which, once again, pile 1 makes me think of the weird is the new cool message about needing to express yourself authentically in this particular goal that you're trying to attain. That's kind of the advice I would give someone that is currently, in the energy of the Knight of Cups reversed, is they feel like they can't take action based on their emotions, their heart, who they are at their core. But your weird is the new cool is saying, please do boldly express your uniqueness. So I think if I had to give one single answer as to what's blocking you most, at least according to your spirit guides from this Akashic Records source, you need to not be afraid to stand out more, pile 1. And on top of that, I'm getting a message about being okay and not, afraid of making mistakes, especially when you are doing something so new, okay? Because, the Fool is at the beginning of a journey. It's the very first card in tarot in general. Very first card meaning, 0, okay? And it's okay for the Fool to make a few little mistakes in the beginning, as we all do whenever we start something new that we're learning. I mean, nobody immediately does something and is just a master at it unless, very rare cases where, they were really good at something in a past life and it manifests in this life. That's pretty much the only time I've ever heard of that happening, right, by pile 1. But at the same time, it's I think you're too hard on yourself, and it's I almost get, a perfectionism off of this. It's a perfectionism of being unwilling to look like a fool. You're I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look like I'm making a mistake. But at this, same time, deep down, pile 1 is but this is so important to me. This is something I really, really, really want. This is something that is so core to me as a person. Okay, so don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, pile 1. That would be the main piece of advice I would give you. But let's draw your other oracle cards to get a little bit more information on what's going on, as well as advice from the Akashic Records to explain, like I said, more context, more advice. So let's see what's going on here. Thank you, spirit guides, again for pile 1. You're working hard, though. It would be a waste, pile 1, to not keep going forward, even if you feel discouraged. Carrot, opportunity or windfall. Okay, yep. That is a beautiful sign if you're looking for positive outlooks in terms of if this is going to work or not. Yes, that's probably a really good answer there, pile 1. It's going to work. Okay, you just have to work through a little bit of the maybe frustration or feelings of embarrassment or feelings of oh, I have to be perfect at this. And then we have bag, something important such as a new job or a raise. Okay, so for a lot of you, this might actually be related to your job or a new relationship regarding your job or at your job, or it could also mean that it's slip of the tongue. What was I gonna say? It's a goal. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's a goal at your job that allows you to express yourself more uniquely, okay, instead of blending into the background. Interesting, pile 1. But yeah, I mean, it's a good forecast. It's something important. I also, once again, I'm getting kind of a life lesson vibe off of this particular reading for you because, like it says, bag, something important. It's like, not only is this beneficial for you to keep going forward with because of, like, it just being something that you deeply want, pile 1, it's also beneficial because it's part of a life lesson you're supposed to learn about not sticking in the background and following your goals through despite feeling like you've made a mistake or despite feeling like, oh, you're silly, or like you're not supposed to be ashamed. You're not supposed to feel afraid. Then we've got unveiling, clouded versus radiant. Yeah, and I think this card, pile 1, it's almost like you are going to receive a realization at some point that you might be really hard on yourself right now about what's going on, but when you look back on this in the future, you're going to really respect everything that you went through, everything that you did and you pulled off, and you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe I was embarrassed or thought that, like that was a bad performance at that time. Because actually looking back, I should be pretty proud. Like, that's what I feel like. It's like right now, just like the imagery of the card here, it's like she's veiled in darkness. And then she unveils and she sees the light. She's like, oh, okay, now I get it. It's just like right now, because of the chaos of all of this going on, and you're just trying to manifest this, you're trying to get this goal going, right, pile 1? It just seems like a chaotic mess and of shame or feeling like I'm not good enough, things like that. But it's like, as I said, in the future, when you look back, you're going to be like, oh, well, hey, wait a minute. That was quite pivotal. That was a good opportunity. I'm really, really glad that I followed my heart, even if I felt discouraged of this thing that I really wanted. Okay. Oh, and then we got looks like a landscape. We got number 11, Skyfire, messages, channels, and information. So that also tells me, pile 1, there's some sort of signs that you've been given to that will help you in terms of achieving this goal. Signs that maybe you haven't been noticing from your spirit guides. Okay, maybe part of this life lesson too is noticing messages from them more than you have been before. Of course, taking into account your current experience with like spirit guides and talking to them. Everyone watching this channel might be at a little bit different part of their spiritual journey, so I want to be cognizant of that. But it's like they're sending you signs and information that maybe you're not necessarily quite noticing. So I'm gonna draw 3 more tarot cards just on that, pile 1, to understand what are the signs that they're sending you that you should pay attention to in like everyday life that would help you further with attaining this goal with the opportunity. And like, I think, like I said, for a lot of you, this might be job related, but we'll see. Spirit guides, yes. What are the signs, the messages? Will help kind of give a nudge in that direction. Page of Wands, exploring what we're passionate about. Also fire. The color red might be another symbolism. Let's keep looking. We have another Wands, but the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay. Red straight on. Ace of Wands reversed can mean lacking passion or lacking a spark. Lacking enthusiasm. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. Let's grab the third card then. We have the High Priestess, which is interesting because she's often associated with the moon, and then you got the moon here on the crown chakra of the unveiling card pile. Or I'm sorry, not crown, third eye chakra, not crown, of the unveiling card. So it's something that you feel in your gut that is the key, because that's what the High Priestess means. It's like, listen to your intuition. There's messages your spirit guides give you in times of, like, when you feel down, when you feel like you're lacking passion, or you feel like you're lacking enthusiasm because of, say, maybe you made a mistake, maybe you feel like you're not doing it perfectly, whatever is getting you down about this particular goal that you're trying to attain, okay? In those moments, there's signs and messages your spirit guides send you that are supposed to help you explore more, broaden your horizons, on paths and ways to manifest this particular goal, because the Page of Wands, pile 1, is all about someone who's exploring their ambitions, their passions, things like that. Also, just with all the fire imagery in this particular reading, I don't know if this is like a creative project for some of you even, because fire tends to represent creativity, but in either case, however it applies and resonates to you, please, 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 in those moments of doubt, when you're lacking enthusiasm, you feel like you have no direction to go, you feel down, you're like, I don't know what to do. Listen to your intuition. And that will help you explore paths you did not see through the obstacles before. Okay, so it's kind of a tough reading, this particular reading, pile 1, because sometimes when I do a tarot reading and I'm asking the spirit guides collectively of a pile, I'm like, hey, give me like a direct answer of what the pile should look for, the people watching this particular pile should look for, right? Sometimes they give me like, oh, here's a blunt answer. Here you go. Boop. Sometimes, though, you get a reading like this, pile 1, where it's like you need to listen to your own intuition to find those signs at the right time. So I apologize if that's kind of a tougher message, like to basically ask the question and then the spirit guides are like, well, you listen to us, don't listen to what the tarot reader is saying. But I think that's because they think it's really helpful for your spiritual development. That's usually kind of when I see things like this. The spirit guides want you to connect with them more. And they really want to help you with this. They're enthused. They're excited about this particular project, okay? They see a lot of opportunity in it, like the carrot said. You know, in bag 2, it talked about, we'll read that one again. Something important, such as a new job or a raise. Okay, so in times of doubt, listen to your spirit guides. Listen to your intuition. What does your gut tell you? And remember your overarching message of, please don't be afraid to express yourself uniquely, like your pile leader you were drawn to said. Okay, that is also a key that will get you through the hard times of the path towards this goal, and it's also something that will help you see the beauty of why you specifically are doing this, okay? Because you could pluck any person off the street, pile 1, and say, achieve the thing that I am reaching for. And I guarantee you, even if you give them a direct 100% step-by-step guide on this is to how to achieve the thing that I'm trying to achieve, they're going to do it in at least a slightly different way than you. So even if you feel like, because there's some intuitive message here I'm getting, like maybe you feel like, oh, this is redundant. I feel like, other people have already done this. Oh, am I just a copycat? Like I think there's something about that too. Of course, comment down in the comments down below if that resonates or not. But at least for some of you, I feel like it's like you feel like it's a redundancy. You feel like, oh, well, is this stupid because, maybe I'm just not really standing out. Maybe I'm not really, I'm just repeating something else. Like, I feel like this isn't a unique enough idea. Okay, but like I said with the example of plucking the person off the street, pile 1, even if you gave every single person the same exact step-by-step guide to achieve the thing that you're trying to achieve, they would 100%, the end result would look different, okay? Just like, for example, I'm thinking of a Bob Ross painting. Do you think every single person who ever followed a Bob Ross painting tutorial ended up with exactly the same strokes? No, it looked probably at least slightly different, even though they followed Bob Ross along the way, of course. And that's what spirit guides are saying right now, is you have a unique frequency, a unique resonance in the work that you create, even if you feel like it's something as mundane as getting a project done at work, which, maybe doesn't feel 100% creative, but still, it's a way of you expressing your soul and shining out your light and your skills and your talents and your strengths, and that's why they want you to keep going with this and not be ashamed. It's a part of a life lesson, pile 1, and quite a beautiful message, too. And in the end, like I said, they want you to relieve your anxiety. Remember that 9 of Swords reversed is the outcome? Don't feel anxious. As hard as that is just to be told, well, don't feel bad about it, because, that's hard to control, pile 1, obviously. It's not something that's easily gotten over, especially when we're kind of unsure, we're not 100% convinced that we're doing the right thing, or that we're on the right path, etc., but they are trying to tell you that you are on the right path. They're trying to tell you, yes, this is a good opportunity, this is a good thing to do. You can manifest it. Just remember, your unique frequency, like weird is the new cool, Listen to them in times of doubt, and they'll give you guidance. Okay, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, just to kind of summarize everything so far. Okay, so that is your reading for today from the Akashic Records. It kind of dealt mostly just with the present, a little bit of the future. Your spirit guides just really wanted to help you on this path because, at least according to your Akashic Records, I think this is, like I said, life lesson related stuff. Okay, so kind of a life lesson oriented reading today, but also helpful on your current path. So if you liked the video, if it resonated, please like the video itself. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as I always say, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, Pile 1, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a vital message from the Akashic Records to help you out right now on your path. And of course, as you can recall, the pile that you were drawn to is the very beautiful purple 15 Build and Break Saunter Slowly. So, of course, we'll start by putting your pile leader off to the left, and I want to start with tarot cards today, just for me as the tarot reader and you to get more insight about what area of your life does this Akashic Records message have to do with, okay? So a bit more context, I guess, would be a good way to summarize. Drawing on the spirit guides collectively of pile 2, could you please guide us with 5 cards? What is it you want to talk to them about from the Akashic Records today? Thank you. Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, something about maybe emotional health. Well, let's see what else pops out, but that is the first intuition inkling I'm getting. And this one right here. Okay, let's unveil the cards, pile 2. We already saw the Queen of Cups reversed, of course, but we also have the 10 of Swords. Ouchie. 10 of Swords is, sometimes it's called a betrayal card, sometimes it is called a card of feeling like we're at the end of something, something's been painful, something is drained us, it's been hard, but the slight silver lining of this card is at least it's over with and we can begin to recover. Okay, so yeah, you have been going through a hard time recently, pile 2. I can guarantee it. I can already feel it. I can tell by the cards that you're getting so far. We haven't even drawn all of the tarot cards, but even just looking at your pile leader, pile 2, build and breaks, saunter slowly. It's like your spirit guides are saying you need to slow down. You need to take breaks. You need, especially for your emotional health. I don't know if you've just been kind of, so much has been going on and so much has been kind of just falling on you that's been hard to deal with. It's like, when we get to those times in life, pile 2, where just there's chaos and emotional wounds, and it's like we kind of forget within the maelstrom and the storm of everything going on that we need to take care of ourselves. So that's really a prominent kind of first intuitive message popping forward, is self-care as a part of what they want to talk to you about. But let's look at your other cards. We have, okay, yep, 7 of Swords reversed. That tends to mean revealing a deception. Someone tried to get away with something, but it was revealed. Especially next to a 10 of Swords, pile 2. I don't know if someone screwed you over recently, and you've been dealing with the fallout from that. Because like I said, 10 of Swords can be like a stab in the back card, and 7 of Swords is like the trickster card. Let's keep going. And then we've got 2 of Wands. Okay, not sure how to go forward in the future. All right, yep. So that's probably because of everything going on, that's not so fun. And then last but not least, we have the Hermit reversed. Something coming to light, coming out of its shell. Especially to, I think, the Hermit can mean, like, even in and of ourselves, coming out of our shell, reversed at least, after a time of having gone within to kind of introspect and gain wisdom from within rather than outside of ourselves. So yeah, your message today, pile 2, is very emotional healing heavy. Okay, it seems like from what we're gleaning from the Akashic Records, thanks to your spirit guides kind of reaching out to us, it's like this time of life is meant to be a time of recovery after all of this has been going on, okay? It's like something, I don't know what it is, Pile 2. And feel free to weigh down in the comments down below and let me know, and let everyone else watching Pile 2 know, because I think, when we share our story, it helps us kind of, well, I don't want to say, like, commiserate, but, I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like, it's like, oh, someone else might be going through the same thing I've been going through, and it's kind of nice to know that we're not alone. Okay, I'm getting kind of a sense of that message, too. But either way, though, it's like you have been through something really hard, really difficult. I mean, a 7 of Swords reversed next to a 10 of Swords. Yikes. Someone either was, like, deceiving you, or there's been a betrayal of some sort that you're recovering from, like I said, or it's like, it might not even be a person specifically, Pile 2. It might be like a situation in life that was deceptive, and it you thought it would turn out better than it did, and it came crashing down, and it's just like, man, like, I'm getting the feeling that it might be maybe kind of one of the most difficult periods of time in your life, too, that you've been through so far. And maybe that's also why that this is, a prominent Akashic Records message coming out, because Akashic Records are the records of the past, the present, and the future, and it's like your spirit guides want to open, this chapter of your story to give you more insight into how to heal from it, as well as what's coming in the future. Because I get kind of an element of light coming from this at the end with the Hermit reversed, because, after all of this emotional healing has been going on, after there's been some introspection about, how to recover from all of this, the Hermit comes out of his cave, and he's more knowledgeable. He's more wise. Okay, so it's like, as hard as this has been, Pile 2, there's something of benefit to be derived from the lesson in the harshness, that's one of the most difficult things in life, Pile 2, and it's something that, I as a tarot reader kind of struggle with, when it does come up in a reading, because one of the hardest things to say to people that have been through a really hard time is, well, look, there's a silver lining. You get a benefit out of it, even if it's, I don't want to say even if it's spiritual, because, spiritual benefits are great and important, right? But because it sometimes it almost feels like it minimizes the pain, because it's like, well, yeah, all this went on, but hey, at least, there's a silver lining. Sometimes really what we need to do is just sit in the sadness and sit in the emotional pain and acknowledge it and honor it and accept it, okay? And this is the period of time your spirit guides are really recommending, and of course, based on your Akashic Records, is destined. You're destined to emotionally heal right now, okay? So don't feel bad at all, Pile 2, if you need to let down a heavy burden currently in your life, or maybe even more than one heavy burden, to tend to your heart a little bit after everything that's been going on. Literally, like your Pile Eater, build and break, saunter slowly. You don't have to go at rocket speeds through life. You don't have to constantly be moving forward. Sometimes it's okay just to stand still and sit in the silence and reflect and notice what's happening in your very present moment, especially when it comes to emotions and our heart. Okay, so that's what they want to talk to you about today. Yeah. Hard times with some light at the end. And the Two of Wands reversed is also interesting, Pile 2, because the Two of Wands reversed is all about feeling like we don't know what we want to do in the future. It's like a lack of plans, a lack of inability to decide what path we want to take, okay? Especially when it comes to our ambitions. It almost maybe feels like this event that went on kind of just blew the wind out of your sails. It's like, well, what do I do now? It's like a boat adrift at sea, not sure what direction to take, kind of spinning in circles, kind of getting battered around. So maybe, too, that they also want to give you insight into what direction to take from here. So let us draw. I think I'm going to draw your oracle cards, but I think I'll draw some more tarot at some point here too, Pile 2, because I do want to hear a little bit more about maybe what direction they recommend you take based on what's written in the Akashic Records, okay? That will help you gain that insight and recovery from what's been going on. So, Spirit Guides, thank you for coming in for Pile 2 collectively. Can you give us more insight into advice or kind of what's going on? Thank you. Casket. Okay, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Maybe the pain was a death pile 2. Did someone maybe pass away recently? Of course, that's when we hear casket, we think of, like a funeral. Or someone leaving your life, maybe a relationship breakup, or a friend that left, or family issues where it's like a separation of some sort, or it can also mean the end of a situation, like a loss of a job. It can mean like losing a house. It's something has kind of died, pile 2, be it literally or, I guess I should say not just something, possibly someone, right? Which of course, my condolences, pile 2, if you have lost a loved one. That's never, ever easy to deal with, of course, as we all know. But yeah, you feel so drained. Something ended and was not a happy ending. Okay. Then your second tea leaf today is ladder, but climbing towards success. So there's a little bit of a silver lining, right, pile 2? There's something of benefit to be driven out of the sadness and of what's going on. As hard as it is where you are right now, it's paving the path in the future to greater success somewhere. Okay. And I think it's because of that insight you get from that hermit reversed energy that you come out of your shell with, you come out of hiding and emotional healing from at the end of all this. Of course, let's keep drawing cards to get more information. And I don't know if you have like a tendency to feel guilty about taking breaks, about pausing. Yeah, you don't have to go rocket speeds, like I said, pile 2. And then we have gratitude. Ungrateful versus appreciative. What an interesting card to get for this. Gratitude. Yeah, there's like some guilt. Guilt about taking breaks, but I almost wonder if there's guilt regarding the thing or the person that you lost. Like maybe if it's someone that you lost, you feel like you didn't verbalize your appreciation for them enough, or at least you feel like you didn't before they passed away. Or it's like there's something about what you lost you didn't realize, like that you were grateful for until after it was gone. Which is very, very common, pile 2. It's just a human condition, the human life lesson we all live is sometimes we don't appreciate things as much until they're gone, and then we realize, oh, wait a minute. So it's like your spirit guides also want to alleviate some of the guilt around that as well with this message today. That, or if you, here's another thing, pile 2, this is an intuitive message coming through for some of you who you lost a person, a loved one. If you, either it's you feel like they didn't understand how grateful you were for them, or it's like you wonder if they were grateful for you. The answer is yes, they were grateful for you before they passed on to the next world. And or if it's the other situation for you, they know that you're grateful. They know. Okay? Because when we pass to the next, the other side is what I'll call it, pile 2, there's a lot of truths that we understand that we don't understand when we're alive. It's like a veil being lifted, okay? It's like seeing life and existence from a perspective that we just don't understand when we're stuck in the third dimension, when we're down here in, living an earthly human life, right? We're not just, energy. And so it's like here's another really good a piece of advice I always give, pile 2. For those of you that are dealing with grieving and death, okay, right now, if you have not already, there are tons of videos on YouTube about near-death experiences. They're called NDEs. I would really highly recommend that you watch some of those videos, okay? I don't remember any specific channels. I've watched plenty of them myself, of course, being interested in spirituality like I am, but I'm getting a sense from your spirit guides that it would be a good idea for you to view some of those as part of your little pause you're having here to emotionally heal from what's going on. Even if you didn't lose a loved one, pile 2, even if it was the loss of something like, you know, say a job or a situation that like you really regret ending. Same thing. Even your death experience stories can help with reflecting on regrets in life and things like that. Okay, so I would recommend that. That is a pretty prominent message coming out from the intuitive side of things here. It's like this part of your life, and this is part of the Akashic aspect of this reading, is like, I'm getting a message is like you're supposed to learn more about death at this point, or losing things. What did I just say, Pile 2? I was like, I feel like different lives, different, like I was talking about how, like, you know, moving on to the next world, you know, it's different. Like, we have a greater perspective on things, okay? And specifically the mirror talks about other lives, dimensional lives, and past lives. Maybe there's, like, past life energy going on here, too, which is very fitting for the Akashic Records. You know, it holds a record of past, present, future, and all lives that we live, right? And so I feel like there's some sort of, it's almost like your reading's turning into a past life reading as well. Okay. I almost wonder if you lost a person, it's like you were very deeply connected to them through past lives. And it's like a reminder that you'll live life with them again. Because oftentimes when we reincarnate, if you believe in reincarnation like I do, Pile 2, we reincarnate with similar people. We call it kind of like a soul circle, is what they tend to, oopsie, didn't mean to knock the camera. We call it a soul circle, or soul family, or a soul community. I've heard that term too sometimes. Your connection is never really lost. Okay, same thing too with if this is a situation like, say, losing a job. I feel like you've gone through a similar situation in a past life, and it's like this is coming up again now as a part of like the spiritual education that's coming through the lesson, right? Because it's like a new opportunity for you to show as a soul the knowledge that you have gained from past lives in similar situations of losing things, and expressing what you learned on a soul level to cope with or bypass it better in this life than you did in previous lives, okay? It's like, this is very deep soul life lesson vibes, and this is why I wanted to draw more tarot cards, because this is really fascinating, Pile 2. I'm going to ask, like, what is the past life stuff all about? I want to kind of know, like, what part of what's going on right now that is like relevant to a past life. I think my intuition is it's like knowing how to pick up after things have fallen apart, or when you've lost something or someone very important. But yeah, spirit guides. What's with the past life thing? What's going on here? I think I kind of know, but I just want to make sure. 3 cards, thank you. Okay, Page of Cups reverse. Lots of cups today. Lots of emotions. Not being sure how to explore something emotionally. The Magician, manifesting things. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yep. And 4 of Wands reversed. Lack of celebration, lack of happiness in the home. Sometimes can mean marriage or like losing a partner. I don't know. Maybe you lost a romantic partner, Pile 2. Which, once again, my condolences if so. It's like life lessons from past lives where you had similar situations where you needed to learn how to explore your feelings and not just run away from them regarding the loss of either the person or the situation or the thing. To keep picking up and moving forward and using what you've learned from the situation and using your sadness, which is kind of a weird thing to think about, but emotions can really be good fuel for our ambitions. It's like there's something you're supposed to derive and extract out of your sadness or your regret to move forward, to create something new. That's what the Magician means, is like manifesting things, Pile 2. And then, yes, 4 of Wands is, yeah, like I said, lack of celebration. Maybe a split in a marriage, okay. I think, like I said, there's one person involved that you've been through with, like, you've been through with this rodeo before, is how I'll put it. Hence the Four of Wands reversed, which I wouldn't normally read as a partnership card, but like I said, it can mean marriage, right? So it does, I can tell you this, though, it does connect to that Two of Wands earlier, where it's like you're not sure like how to go forward. And it's like you're supposed to, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating this a bit ad nauseum, but it's like you're supposed to move forward and use your emotions to propel you rather than hold you down. It's almost like they're saying it needs to be like the motor, the wind in your sails, rather than the anchor or the rock on your feet. And that's how you show gratitude for what you lost, is making the best of the emotions that whatever you lost gave you, or whoever you lost gave you. Like, it's not supposed to be an anchor, it's supposed to be the wind in your sails. It's supposed to propel you forward on some sort of soul mission, pile 2, okay? And that's related to the past lives and the life lessons that you're learning. And if I had to say what the soul mission is, it's about manifesting things, hence the Magician, okay? And exploring our emotions instead of running away from them. It's taking the love of what was lost or who was lost and channeling it somewhere else in effective ways. So whatever you did lose, or whoever you did lose, pile 2. Take what you shared or did with that person or thing and channel your focus of that energy that you used to invest in that person or thing into something else. And that is how you will move forward with this particular sadness, this end. Okay? And like I said, if you have any regrets about gratitude, like, oh, I didn't show my gratitude enough, or I don't know if they appreciated me, or I don't know if I, appreciated this situation, or like job, person, etc. Insert your situation here enough before it was gone. That's how you show gratitude. Is use it to fuel something else. Your path forward. And that is the spiritual enlightenment that the Hermit reversed is the outcome. That you'll walk out of this time of slower pace and emotional healing with. Okay? So, if there's anything you take away from this reading today, pile 2, it's everything you're going through now is for a reason in terms of your soul lesson, your soul path, things like that. It's something important for you to learn. And right now, like I said, you're going through a time of emotional healing. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to move, like your pile leader says, saunter slowly. You don't have to rocket forward ahead. You can mire a little bit. I don't want to say mire. That's kind of a negative connotation, I guess. Linger. That's a better word. Linger where you're at right now. Stew in the emotions a little bit in a positive, constructive way. And that is the one that will push you forward. And for some reason, they're saying to greater sunsets. Greater sunsets. I don't know if sunsets were a very important thing regarding the thing or person that you lost. Something about sunsets. I don't know. But yeah. Okay. So, I hope it wasn't too all over the board here, pile 2. This is a little bit more of it's not so much of a tangible thing reading, about like, oh, this thing's coming your way. Oh, here's this blessing, or, certain situation here. This is more of an intangible, very spiritually heavy reading, but it wouldn't have come through if your spirit guides didn't think that this was an Akashic Records message that, they knew that, is good for you to hear at this time, right? And B, wasn't important for you to hear at this time. Okay. So that's your message for today. All right. I hope you liked it. I hope it resonated. I hope it helped you at least a little bit. And if so, please like the reading video itself. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to Lone Pine Tarot if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a vital, important message from the Akashic Records guided by your spirit guides. And of course, as you can recall, your pile leader was number 49, Afterglow, Land Gracefully. So to begin the reading, as we always do, we'll set your pile leader off to the left. And let's start with tarot today. I just want to ask your spirit guides, in getting the information from the Akashic Records, what's the context? What is it that they really want to talk to you about, okay? So spirit guides for pile 3 today, gleaning information from the Akashic Records. Please guide us to the right cards, maybe about 5. What do you want to talk about? What does pile 3 need to know? Okay. And there's 5. Let's unveil your tarot cards, pile 3. So to begin, your first card is 7 of Swords reversed. Okay, you know what that tells me right off the bat? This message is something about revealing either like a deception or a misconception of some sort. Okay, because the 7 of Swords is all about like something has been kind of sneaky or it's been kind of unseen, because even the imagery here you can see pile 3 is someone who's sneaking away with the swords from camp and they're trying to look for him but he's behind the tree. But reversed, it's that in the opposite, he's been caught or something has been revealed. So it's like they want to show you the deception going on, either a self-deception or a deception from something else in your life or someone else potentially. Let's look at your other cards to see. Then we have the Emperor reversed, okay? That can mean masculine energy in the negative. That can mean, so for an example, more tangibly, say, someone who is overly controlling or dominant in your life, someone who is overly authoritative and kind of demanding. It can also mean negative masculine energy within your own personal path. Like, let's say maybe you're trying to control the outcome of something too much, or it's like you feel like something's out of your control, like you're not able to take action with it. Let's keep going. We'll see what else comes up for context. Ace of Cups, new relationship or a new feeling, especially as the heart of the matter. Interesting. And then we've got 3 of Wands reversed, unable to move forward with the plans we have made. I almost feel like someone blocked you. You feel like someone blocked you from doing something. Yeah, okay. And then we've got Judgment reversed. At the end is the outcome. Oh, and isn't that just the most beautiful card? I love that angel. Gorgeous. But Judgment reversed is... I would almost read it in this situation as, like, wanting to move to the next level, but being unable to. There's something holding you back, pile 3. There's something that is... It's like you want to move forward with something, but you're unable to because it's like either you lack control in the situation, or it's like you're trying to control the outcome too much, or there's someone else involved that is too controlling and doesn't let you have more of the reins. Does that kind of make sense, pile 3? But I'm almost getting the feeling from this that it's more in your control than you think, if it's someone else who's controlling. Or if it's a case of you feel like you need to control like more just to get to like the exact outcome that you're trying to, it's a message of like letting go of that control and letting the universe kind of do its thing a little bit more. So this is kind of a twofold message depending on your particular situation, pile 3, but they want to unveil that deception around this. Okay, I'm going to grab, actually, specifically for you, pile 3, I want to grab one more card to explain the Emperor reverse, just a little bit of a clarification card, because I'm curious. Spirit guides, pile 3, can you tell me more about the Emperor reversed? Like, define that situation more. The Page of Swords. Exploring something regarding our knowledge. communication. I think pile 3, that it's something that you're trying to control the outcome of too much. That's the feeling I'm getting intuitively off of the Page of Swords. Which I know is kind of a hard message to hear, pile 3, because when there's something that we really, really want in life, we always kind of think of like the general common sense knowledge of like, wow, that I have to do absolutely everything that I can to get it, okay? But sometimes there's a deception that we give ourselves in that the more effort we put into it, the more likely we'll get the outcome we want. But we don't really recognize that sometimes things are out of our control more. Like, it's more like something that the universe kind of has to brew. Like, I'm sorry if I'm seeming kind of confusing here, pile 3, but I mean, I hope it's making sense. But I guess to overall summarize, it's like you're trying to control the outcome of something, and it's like your spirit guides are saying you're not meant to have that control. It's supposed to be out of your hands, okay? It's supposed to be something that is more in the hands of someone else or the universe. And that's the self-deception we were talking about with the Seven of Swords reversed, okay? It's revealing, hey, wait a minute, maybe I've been fooling myself a little bit about how much control I actually do have over this situation. Or, excuse me, my voice is a bit scratchy today if I clear my throat. Yeah, it's something along those lines. I'm going to grab your other cards because this is kind of confusing to me as well, even just as the tarot reader, but I want to tell you this, pile 3. I think things will work out. And that's like another part of the message is that, because usually when a spirit guides are like, you know, hey, let go of the control of something. Like, let go of the reins a little bit. It's because they're telling you that it's kind of in the universe's hands and not your own. And so it's reassuring in a way because it's almost like, hey, wait a minute. You don't have to worry about this so much. We have wind chimes, peace and harmony. Yeah, it's like letting go of the chaos. I almost wonder if it's because, the reason that they're bringing it up is because it's like to the point of your, like, you get like mental stress over it and you feel like, oh, it's my fault if it doesn't go well because it's like this illusion of control. Like, that's what I'm feeling off of this reading. And part of your spiritual development, and I think that's why this is like, specifically, like we said, it's an Akashic Records message, which tends to deal with like life lessons or like what path you're supposed to be taking through life, right? Because it deals with the past, the present, and the future. It's the records of everything that's ever occurred or will. You're supposed to learn this lesson at this point in time. It's a spiritual development. And the path you're on right now leads to judgment reversed, which means, not the spiritual growth that your soul needs right now. So that's why the spirit guides are intervening now. They're like, okay, well, we got to give you this advice. And then if you change course and direct it somewhere else, that will give you the spiritual development that you need from this situation, okay? So it's like they want to give you like a heads up to like course correct just a little bit. And then we have lobster, a financial pinch. I wonder if it's like finances you're worried about then. Job, finances, something along those lines, financial pinch. Maybe it's you really feel like you're trying to control how much money is coming in. Maybe you've been having some struggles with money recently. And or it's like you're looking for a job and you're really worried about like, oh, well, if I just submit like 1 million resumes or job applications, like, which, I mean, it's good advice, pile 3, to submit as much as you can to relevant positions. But at the same time, I mean, it's not like doing it 1,000 times means that your chances are likelier, right? It just means every single time you submit something, it's another roll of the same die with the same chances, okay? And I don't say that to be like, oh, it's futile, like, don't submit as much as possible. Like, say if a job situation is your particular, what's going on in your life, right? But, it's almost a message of, like, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen, and you're guided and you're protected, okay? Like, it's almost like a, whoa, Nelly, hey, wait, slow down. Slow down. It's okay. Like, they understand why you're worried, but they're almost telling you you don't have to be as worried as you are, okay? It's not all on your shoulders. That's another message coming through here, okay? Kind of a unique message today. I don't think I've ever had a reading like this before, but it's basically, to summarize, the illusion of control. And, you know, another thing I like to say to pile 3 is that common phrase we say in the spiritual community is rejection is divine protection. If you're not getting to where you want to be immediately, it doesn't mean the universe saying no. Really what it means is the universe saying that was not meant for you. There's something better elsewhere. Okay. Then we've got awareness, foolish versus conscious. Interesting. Foolish versus conscious. Being aware of something. Yeah, it's like, I almost get the sense too, it's like you're running around in circles with this particular situation as well, because you're so worried about, like, how is it going to go? Or how am I going to figure out this problem? Like, and so you're tightening the reins so much, trying to control the outcome. But then at the same time, pile 3, it's like they want you to be aware that it's in their hands too. Huh. And then the last deck for today. Then we have number 30, Sacred Journey, Introversion, Seeker, and Self-Knowledge. Yeah, a sacred journey. Once again, like that says to me, pile 3, this was meant to happen in your life right now because it's a life lesson. Like I said, Akashic Records often deal with life lessons, right? Explaining kind of why you're going through things at certain times in your life because, you know, it's kind of like your life plan, right? It's a chance to know yourself better, which sounds odd because we're talking about a situation of feeling whether or not like something was within or without our control. But it's like through struggling with it being out of your hands, it's an opportunity to understand more about yourself. And I think the message really coming through intuitively here, pile 3, is I think you take too much burden upon yourself for the outcome of things. Yes, it's good to put in our all. It's good to try to control the outcome, at least to the point of making sure that we're not being negligent, right? But at the same time, the outcome isn't always 100% on your shoulders. So if you're worried about that outcome, or if the outcome has already come to pass for something you were really hoping for, that you really try to control and make sure that everything just went perfectly and you landed whatever that was, or got that thing, attained that goal, it's like they're saying, don't feel so dang bad, because it's like you didn't, it wasn't all on your shoulders. They're trying to bring you a peace. It's not a failure on your part. Okay, not everything bad that happens to you, pile 3, is because you deserve it or because you did badly or poorly. That's another part of this message coming through today from the Akashic Records. So that's, I think, also why awareness comes up. It's, you know, self-awareness, self-knowledge, sacred journey, introversion, looking within. There's some sort of internal lesson to be gained here, too, about how you go about attaining your goals. Because I wonder if similar situations have come up in your life before, or maybe even in past lives, you know, speaking of Akashic Records, which also hold your past lives too, right? Records of them, where you've often as a soul struggled with the feeling of like 100% burden on your shoulders for an outcome, or feeling like it's 100% your fault or in your court. And it's like they want you to look around and be more aware of outside factors outside of your control. Like, I'm trying to think of a really good metaphor, pile 3. I'm sorry I'm pausing a bit, but a really good metaphor for something outside of your control. I'll use one that I used in a previous reading. This was, I can't remember how long ago, but the metaphor I used in a previous reading where kind of a similar thing came up was, it's like a wild cat, like let's just say a mountain lion for our example, is going along, and it's so focused on finding a piece of prey that it spots a rabbit, it goes after the rabbit, and all of a sudden, like, it just doesn't catch the rabbit like it's supposed to. Like, maybe it pounced at the wrong time, or, maybe, it just wasn't fast enough, or the rabbit got to a place of safety, like under a rock that it couldn't get under, or something, insert situation here. But it's like you in this situation are the mountain lion. And in this situation, you would think, well, it's all in my fault. I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't clever enough. I wasn't blah, 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 insert thing here. But there might be outside factors outside of your control. Like, let's say when the rabbit escaped you, metaphorically speaking, there was, the wind just happened to turn to carry your scent its way, so that it was alerted faster than it normally would have been. Is that really your fault that the wind changed? Or in the mountain lion situation metaphor we're using, was it really the mountain lion's fault that the wind changed? Was that a fault of its own? No, of course not. It was just bad luck. It was something outside of its control. Or, say maybe it heard another predator in the distance. Like maybe it heard a coyote yip or something, or like, some sort of predator. We'll use a coyote. And that scared it away faster. Was it your fault or the mountain lion's fault that the coyote made that noise and scared it away? No. So would the mountain lion blame itself for the wind or the coyote? Well, no, it would just, I guess it can't really logically reason, but you know what I mean, pile 3, like, assume it has the intelligence level of a human. The mountain lion would be like, oh, well, that was kind of out of my control. It wasn't because my claws weren't sharp enough, or because I was, not clever enough, or because I didn't run fast enough. It was because the wind blew the wrong way at the right time, or the coyote made a noise at the wrong time. Okay, so that's, extrapolate that to your situation with that metaphor of catching the prey. It's like your spirit guides are saying you're supposed to learn both the relief in understanding that there's factors outside of your control in the situation that you're not seeing, okay, and being easier on yourself when you feel like you've failed or something has eluded your grasp, okay? And I do want to, just to finish off the reading for you today, pile 3, I want to ask Spirit if they can tell us more about, what was the question I was going to ask? One moment. Let me tap in intuitively. I'm going to ask, what are the factors outside of your control? Because that might also help you feel better as well, pile 3. To gain more understanding and insight into why this is happening, okay? Interesting. We literally, remember I said before, often about, letting go of the reins? Guess what just popped up? The Chariot. Someone holding the reins, but reverse, letting go of the reins, okay? But what it does mean, on a surface level, pile 3, the Chariot reversed is like a lack of control. They're just re-emphasizing a lack of control. It was out of your hands. It's out of your hands. Queen of Wands, all right. That can mean literally a feminine figure who is creative and confident or ambitious. So maybe there is a, feminine energy person in your life. Perhaps that it's more in her control or their control than it is your own. All right. And then let's also look at the third card. We have the Ace of Wands, more fire energy. Okay. Spark. It almost kind of feels like, it's either that person, the feminine energy that we discussed with the Queen of Wands just now. It's like, it's out of your control. It's reliant on their say so. It's reliant on their, like, when they're excited for something. Or, like, what they're enthused about that day. Like, I almost wonder if there's, like, some outside approval going on with this. Like maybe part of the feeling like of like what you lost was the approval of somebody, or it's like getting like the go ahead. But it wasn't so much that it was like inherently bad, pile 3, or that you did something wrong. It's just like maybe that person just happened to be in a bad mood that day. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like the mountain lion metaphor. Is it really your fault if someone was just in a bad mood and didn't go along with something that you wanted, or like the goal that you're trying to attain, or the approval you're trying to get? Something along those lines, okay. But even if we were to see the Queen of Wands as like an internal card and not so much like an outside person, I mean, that often means your internal ambition, okay? The way that you attune your inner feelings towards your ambitions. I mean, I would almost even just say, pile 3, that maybe you just had a bad day that day. If this is past tense, you just had kind of a bad day that day. That's what I'm hearing intuitively with that Queen of Wands if we were looking at it internally rather than as a person, as I said. I mean, so if there's anything you take away from this reading today, pile 3, it's please know that something was out of your control, or it currently is out of your control, and don't blame yourself for the outcome, okay? Number 2, don't fall into the trap of thinking that everything is within your control, because that leads you to the idea of blaming yourself when things go wrong, okay? It's not 100% always in your hands, okay? Sometimes, like the mountain lion, a coyote makes a sound at a wrong time. The wind blows at the wrong time. Oops. Then we try again. It doesn't mean that the mountain lion is poor at hunting, okay? Because it's still surviving. It means it's gotten other rabbits before. But just in that one particular instance, there was some bad luck, okay? Be aware of what's luck and what's your own particular thing within your control, okay? And that will help you propel forward into attaining your goals. That is the self-deception they want to reveal to you today, okay? And that will help you spiritually level up, turning that judgment reversed here as the outcome initially into an upright of, okay, now we've spiritually leveled up. We've come to understand the lesson that we were meant to based on the Akashic Records, you know, the future going ahead, of the illusion of control. That's the lesson we're learning right now. Okay? And that will also bring you peace. Is accepting that not everything is within our hands. Okay, so that's your message for today, pile 3. I hope it wasn't too all over the board. It kind of went this way and then that way, and then we had the mountain lion metaphor. But, you know, sometimes, you know, I do a reading and I think, oh man, like it wasn't like 100% like super organized. And then down below people are like, oh, it's so helpful. Like that's happened in the past. So I hope that was the case with this particular reading with you too. And if so, you know, please like the video. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. Just helps me out a bit, which helps me provide readings for both you and others continuously in the future. And of course, this is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.